So I'd like to welcome everybody to tonight's talk. As usual, what I really like about our gallery program is that we have a gallery committee that's made up of our faculty members, and everybody brings artists to the committee every year, and that's how we choose artists for shows. We did have a last minute change of shows this year, and Maribel gave us a wonderful recommendation. And so it's been a great show, and work that I've looked at over the years and really admired. So it's just really great to have him here. So with that, I'll introduce Maribel Wiggin, and Maribel, you can take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Dean. It's so great to see everyone here tonight. And before I introduce Tavarus, we want to formally and with great respect acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of the Yakutsk Nation. Our campus, Stanislaus State, is built on the unceded ancestral lands of these indigenous tribes. Thank you for letting us honor them and give our thanks to their ancestors and descendants for their constant and careful stewardship of this land. And I'm very pleased to introduce Tavarus Blackman, also known by Anglo-Saxon Blackmonster, is an interdisciplinary intermediate artist, curator, and educator, devoted Black father and partner with 3 children in the city of Trees, Sacramento, California. He's earned his MFA as Provost Fellow at the University of California, Davis, and his MA in Studio Art at CSU, Sacramento. He has been under the fellowship at the Headland Center for the Arts and is the recent Parent Artist Fellow at the Kalaya Art Institute. He is the recipient of the 2020-2021 Kalaya Art Institute Fellowship and the Curatorial Fellowship at Root Division. He is the Winter 2021 Artist in Residency at Caldera Arts in Sisters, Oregon, and an artist member and president at Access Gallery in Sacramento. He has exhibited both regionally and internationally in San Francisco, at American Still Studios in Oakland, Los Angeles, the Center for Digital Arts, Chicago Art Gallery, New York Luminar Gallery, and Mexico City and Berlin. He has been published in the Sacramento News and Review, Arts and Culture, Reverb, Voices Against Mass Incarceration, Cura's Literary Magazine of Art and Action, based at Fordham University, IO Literary Journal, and the University of Nevada, Reno Bushfire Journal. He has curated panel discussions, presentations, and exhibitions at Beatnik Gallery, the Golden One Center Digital Media Displays, at Access Gallery, and also the galleries at CSU Sacramento. He is the founder and webmaster of Art Music Lit Space, an online gallery presenting virtual exhibitions. His current body of sound art, Lockdown, is released through SpinUp, a Universal Music Group platform. And with that being said, Tavarus, please take it away.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my work with your community. And yeah, I think it's just an awesome opportunity to, share my work. And it's very personal. And, being that I am an artist and this is what I do, this is one way that I get to share those personal kind of stories through visual art. And I think I can, I guess I want to bring this up because I want to, draw attention to the fine work of Bradley, someone I've been working with, but it also kind of encapsulates the exhibition. This is a catalog that's forthcoming. But can you see this and hear me?
Yes.
It's great. Yeah.
So the work began in 2018. How much time do I have?
As long as you like.
Okay. So the work began in 2018 at the Headland Center for the Arts. And at that time, I was just trying to figure out how can I access this figure, this character. And at the time, I was thinking that it had to do with games. And a lot of the first paintings kind of had a game board element to them, such as this image here. And so I was thinking of a game from multiple perspectives. So like from the perspective of urban dialect, like the game, so to speak, meaning to perhaps take advantage of a corrupt system, meaning a government system. And then looking at it from the perspective of government employees and thinking, what is sporting to officers who shoot people on duty? What is that like for them? Is that sporting? It's very complicated to think about this subject, but it was very much related to the fact that I played a lot of games at home with my mother, like chess and Chinese checkers, card games like spades. But kind of synthesizing a complicated home upbringing with my personal life experience and difficulties that I faced due to a disability. This figure here started to represent more than just a game player, as it had begun, but it started to resemble something more or less a father figure, while still retaining all those games and that game's personship, like to shoot someone on duty or to take advantage of, to break a law for as part of a duty, part of a code. And so this dad started to represent all that could be possibly violent and righteous, but also righteous and defiant about what it meant for me to think about dad. And I never had a father. So piecing all that together, American culture, my own unique upbringing, has kind of got me to this point. So the exhibition Medieval has developed to include images of a family, images of a father in the center of this image that acknowledges its family's endeavors, yet also speaks for its own ego and the sacrifice it might endure for the sake of this family unit here. If you see the exhibition, the paintings are pretty big. It says 141 inches. I think I measured it once. Really, I was just into making a painting. If you're curious about the process, I pretty much did document it on social media, kind of step by step through Instagram and Facebook posts. But I just pinned up a large canvas on the wall, as large as I can make it. And I sketch out a composition with paint using a nozzle. So it squeezes through a little hole and makes a bead, in turn creates a contour. And I've made paintings all different types of ways, but for these, that just happened to be the working method. I'll sketch out a cartoon and then work abstractly, responding to color, responding to shape, painting things out, bringing things back, trying to have every color and form and shape interplay with what's next to it. And the work is kind of dark from the way I think about it. So when I think of like dark and what is potentially beautiful, I think of like Baroque music or art from that period that has kind of a gilded feel to it. And, the terms in the Baroque era are very much life and death and heaven and hell. So the work, I wanted to kind of reflect that in a way that could be seen as both having a surface that is about what is on top of the canvas, but also what is happening within the composition. That's the content. So, issues of colorism, identity, milk is a stand-in for me living a life and kind of not looking like my mom, not acting like my dad, my children not really looking like me, but being of and from me, yet we're coexisting. I really wanted to paint this figure as a deterrent or an obscurant kind of force for this diminutive gingerbread, which is a figure that I've used several times. And so these figures, these diminutive figures, traverse the game board, and a lot of times it's just been alphabetized to kind of represent what is youthful and playful. But these paintings also represent what is dangerous about hegemony, or even milk in general. I got to get off the milk because I'm trying to lose weight these days. But anyways, it seems like a lot of dad, my personal role, revolves around what I can provide for my kids. In most cases, it's like milk out of a bottle. Sometimes that was formula. Most times it's formula. Sometimes it's pasteurized milk, and, so I think this work also deals with issues of sustainability in a way. But for me, it's more of a metaphorical figure. Like, these are family portraits, like you might see astute families have. I have family portraits. They look kind of goofy. But, bringing home the milk, I want to kind of queer or change this connotation of, oh, so this figure should be bringing home bacon. And so that kind of connotes cutting flesh and everything. And so for this figure that kind of looks like an executioner, but is also a father figure in his paintings, is kind of queered by being dependent on this thing that is mass produced and exists because of factories, farm factories. Also kind of important to paint this figure as one of having potential for guilt. I think a lot about this figure. I think a lot about my own identity as being biracial, Black and white, Italian, Irish, and African American. Kind of trying to internalize all of racism, trying to internalize all of Black resistance, and then still be a dad and still carry those forefathers or carry Mother Earth, the cradle of life, whatever the metaphors are, as an internal kind of struggle and identity, and still find a way to, I guess, want to atone in some respects, but also keep what is powerful about the identity, both, all, and kind of try to sympathize with what is not powerful. For me, power can be survival. For me, power meant becoming a father and kind of passing on what is unique about me, and that is being sensitive to the world, I feel, sensitive to my mother's better judgment, sensitive to the critique of my partner and lover, and sensitive to the children I raise and the better person they want of me. It's kind of difficult, but I think being an artist means that I could think about all of those things and work at the same time and be close to my family, even part of my family that maybe I don't relate to. I could kind of think about it in terms that are critical, like, why is milk, what about milk? It's just such a boring thing. But nonetheless, part of, I guess, this expression, black as this mask and white as milk. And yeah, I guess you take whatever you want from all that. I think most importantly for me is like the joy of making the work. These are just ideas that I have when I make it. Perhaps I'm making the work to have the ideas. That's what someone wise told me, said. That seems kind of like backwards to me, being an artist. But I do say my work is about healing, because I think there's a lot about healing that is important for a society with so much pain in its history. So yeah, if it's backwards, I don't know, but I really like making paintings and I like making art. And I think I try to see the subject from every angle. In this case, I see it from the angle of a child looking at a father I never knew, or myself as my children looking at me from the outside, or myself looking at my family, or myself looking at my community and trying to figure out where I fit in. And yeah, I guess all of that I don't know, but I think by making art, I can stand out, I guess. But it's not really about that. I think it's more or less about having an activity that kind of stimulates my mind and keeps me busy. And yeah, all this self-discovery is part of what art is and can be about. And I'm just like fortunate that, through hard work and a lot of support from people and artists and instructors in the community, that this work be made possible. It's a lot of hard work, but it didn't happen alone. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. I'm not sure what else I can say about it.